How's it going? Dave from Comic Book Investments. Well, it's Monday, so that means it's time to go through the weekly haul. Normally, what I do is I just run through every book or a selection of books I got in this past week, but this week I'm going to do something a little differently. I'm going to pick out a few books that are like more hot keys right now, and I'll give you my thoughts on whether you should buy, sell, hold, that kind of stuff. And let's see if you like this kind of things. So first up, we got Spider-Man 238. Now, this is the first Hobgoblin. I'm sure many of you know. I think he will probably be in a future movie. I think that's what is likely to happen. They'll probably do a revamp of Green Goblin and probably mix in the Hobgoblin down the road. I'm sure they have like timelines and movies all slated and things like that. These movies make so much money. So I think there's a very high possibility that he will be in something like that. As far as like what you should do with this book, I think you should pick it up. I don't think you should sell it right now. And if you have one, I would hold on to it. All right, next up we got Young Avengers. Now this book has been going up like crazy because there's a chance that they do kind of like a Young Avengers movie. And I think it's in Marvel's best interest to do something like that because if you can get actors while they're young, you don't run into the problem where you have like Robert Downey Jr., who's like just getting older and older. And he's like, well, I can't be Iron Man anymore, and a lot of these people can't, it's harder for when you're older to stay in shape, especially if you have to do something like, Chris Hemsworth is Thor. But if you get someone who's like 20, 21, you could have a good 10, 20 years with that actor. And they sign these people to ridiculous contracts, like sometimes 6 to 9 appearances. And actors will love it because they're like, dude, I get solid work for, the next 30 years. And on top of that, it's going to be popular because the reality is most actors or musicians or anything like that is like they want to have their work be shown and people love it and receive it, So they're happy to do, Marvel movies because they know everyone will love it. As far as buying and selling, I would hold on to it if you have it, and I would pick one up if you don't. So yeah, this would be like a long-term thing. Next up, you got the first appearance of the Thunderbolts, and Hulk was at 449. Yeah. There was rumor for a while that the Thunderbolts were going to show up somewhere, and then that rumor kind of died down. And so that book went up, and then it started coming back down. But I think the rumors are coming back around. It's spiking pretty good. I really don't know what's going to happen. Like, a lot of these are based off rumors. Oh, it's going to happen. I think the Thunderbolts is a possibility down the line. I just don't know. I think they have so many other characters and so many other things happen. Who knows though? I mean, they could, but for now, I would, if you have it, hold it. I think it's a good buy now, as in the short term, but something long term, and when I mean long term, I mean multiple years down the road, I don't know. So going to kind of skeptical. Fantastic Four, 49. Second appearance of a Silver Surfer, and first cover appearance of Galactus Silver Surfer. Silver Surfer will appear in the MCU. Guaranteed. There's no way he won't. I would say this is 100% buy. I'd say it's 100% hold. And I would say don't sell it if you don't have to. Captain America 117. First appearance of the Falcon. Now, he just became Captain America, and they're making a Captain America 4, which Anthony Mackie, the actor who plays Falcon, didn't even know they were making a Captain America 4 until it was announced on, whatever, on the news, and he found out the same way that we found out. So he's going to be Captain America, and he is the Falcon. I don't know what the long term is for Anthony Mackie and being in the MCU and all that kind of stuff. So right now, I think the book got a massive push because of the TV show. I could see a little bit of pullback. I didn't see Captain America in the Phase 4 plans. Not saying that they're not going to make it. They will. But this might dip a little for a little bit, but eventually go back up. So if you're in the market and you're looking for one, yeah, you can pick one up, or you can wait like 6 months and see where it is. Because, I mean, I don't have a crystal ball or anything, but there could be a chance of like dipping slightly, so you might be able to get it. But in the long run, I think this will get another boost when the movie comes out. Strange Tales 159, first appearance of, I don't know, her name is Val something from she played by Elaine in Seinfeld and Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This to me is a sell. It's not, I don't see that character popping up beyond Falcon and the Winter Soldier 2, Season 2, if they even make one. I don't even know what they do. They're not, I don't think they're making a WandaVision Season 2. So these might just be one-offs. I hope she does, because obviously I love Seinfeld, but I like the U.S. agent, John Walker, so I hope they do more with him. He might be in Captain America 4. I have no idea. But as terms, I think this book saw a massive spike when she came out, and I think it's going to see a massive drop. So I would sell. I wouldn't buy. Unless you want it, then buy it. But that's just my take. Spider-Man 101. First appearance of Morbius, living vampire. This spiked really high. The trailer dropped. I think the movie got pushed back, and now it's kind of steadied out. I think it went like spiked high, kind of just now it's like that's a slight incline. It's still going up, but not that much. It obviously got its big bump already. I think it'll get another big bump when the movie comes, and it really depends how good the movie is. If the movie's fantastic, then yeah, it'll get another big bump. But if that's the problem, a lot of these movies depend, or a lot of these comics depend on how the movie's doing. But yeah, right now it's kind of at like a steady incline. So if you have it, hold it. If you want to sell it to get another book that you think is a better buy, you can do that too. As far as buying it, if you really want it, buy it. But if you're trying to get, I guess, the most money in the future, kind of an investment thing, I think there's better books to buy. But like I said, if you like it, buy it. You don't want to be stuck with the book just because it's either A, making money. Well, that's nice, but if it ends up losing money and you hate the book. But if you like the book, it doesn't matter if it loses money because you still like the book. And that's kind of what's most important. All right, Captain America 323, first appearance of Super Patriot, which later becomes John Walker, who becomes a U.S. agent. This to me is a sell. Why? Because the show's over. We don't know when John Walker's going to appear again. I think there'll be some lasting lag of it slowly creeping up a little bit, but I think the big bump they already got is there, so I think it's going to level out, and then it could just drop. So to me, I'm personally not buying these as much. I used to buy a bunch of them, and now I'm slowing down on buying them. And I still pick them up if it's a good deal, because if it's a good deal, I factor in the fact that it could go down. So if it's a good deal, I'll pick it up. But if you bought it at top dollar, it might go up slightly, but I think there's a greater risk of it dropping than going the opposite way. So I think there's a better chance of it going down 50% than it going up 50%. This book I just liked it. So it had nothing to do with how much it's going to be worth or anything like that. But I liked it. That's it. That's all. So I want to include it. I've seen it before, but I've never included it in a weekly haul. Wolverine #1, limited series. The reason why Wolverine's going up because he's Wolverine. So any Wolverine, anything, minor key, major key, it's going really, really high. I don't know if you can hear my dogs. They're both sleeping. I don't know if you can hear that. I don't know how loud that is. They're snoring. But anyways, it's interesting. There's like different tiers of key factor, right? You got, say, Wolverine, for example. You got the top tier, which is Hulk 181. Then you got the tier much lower than that, which would be, well, I guess you could go giant size X-Men #1 is a second appearance Wolverine. That's up there with the Hulk. But then the next tier down, you got Hulk 180, Hulk 182, and then below that, you got like Hulk 340. And then a little bit right around there, same tiers, you got Wolverine Limited. So the people that can't afford, say, the Hulk 180, 181, giant size, excuse me, they'll go down the list, and maybe something they can't afford is a Hulk 340 or Wolverine Limited Series #1 or the Wolverine Series #1. So with Wolverine obviously coming in the MCU at some point, it's a guarantee. There's zero chance that he won't be in it. I wish it was Hugh Jackman. I mean, maybe a Lazarus pit he can jump into to de-age him. And so I don't mind that he's old, but he doesn't like doing it as much anymore. But anyways, I hope whatever they do, they knock it out of the park. Unlike Jared Leto's Joker. But anyways, so yeah, I think this will continue to go up. The downside of something like this is they printed a lot, and there's a lot that kept in nice shape. That's why you find there's like a 9.9 and a 10.0 of this book. So there's just a lot out there. That's the downside. As far as buy, pick one up, yes. Sell, you could sell it if you want something different, but I would hold or buy. Giant size X-Men #1. Simplest way. Buy. Hold. Buy. That's all I can really say. If you look at my market analysis on this, you'll see that I'm buying and not selling at all. Why? Because this book I know it's gone up crazy amounts, but it'll still go up crazy amounts. I probably now have 10 to 15 copies of this. I don't know. I stick them in a box and away it goes. I'm holding. I am not selling. When will I sell? I will sell. Okay, unlike these other books, right? There'll be a big spike, but there could also be a big drop. This will not have that big drop. It will not drop by 50%. Like it could over a span of time, yes, but it will go up. It will then level out for a while, and then it might dip down and kind of do this thing for a while. And if it's destined to go down, it'll do this little jumping bean thing until it goes down, whatever it's supposed to be. But it's not going to go up and then down. So you're not going to just one day wake up and be like, oh my gosh, it went down 50%. I need to hurry up and sell. It won't do that. So for me, all this advice that I'm giving you is stuff that I do myself. So everything, like, I practice what I preach. So this book, I will sell when it goes up and then goes sideways. Right when it goes sideways, that's when I will sell. Until that happens, I will not sell. So right now, it's going sky high. And when will it go sideways? Just because one book sells for $8,000 and then a week or two later one sells for $7,000 or $6,000 does not mean it's going sideways or down. You need a good trend of that. A couple months worth. Like I said, this book will not just go up and then go straight down. first Taskmaster, Avengers 196. This went up, started coming down because the movie got pushed back, and now it's going up again. And that's how you can see what hype can do to a book. It can shoot a book up, but then when the hype leaves, it goes back down, then hype comes back, shoots back up. So, I like Taskmaster. I think he's a great villain. How he will do in the movie will determine his life of this comic book. Now, I'm not saying that if the movie sucks and the character's crap and the book will be instantly worthless. It won't. But there's a trajectory. If this is how it's slowly going up over time, you'll get the hype jump. But it'll go back down to here. So this book will still steadily go up. Even if you bought it at the peak today, let's say today's the peak, and you bought it 20 years down the line, it will surpass that peak, even if the hype train's gone. Hold it if you have it. Buy or sell, you could go either way on this one. I'm buying it, but I'm going to sell them. I'm not holding them back or anything like that. Eternals, number 1. Now, a lot of these in here are going to be buys just because the market's like, it's going up like crazy. So if this was 2 years ago, we would have like difference in stories, but that's a lot of the reason why a lot of these are buys. And I'm also pulling like massive keys. So Eternals number 1, it's the same as the Taskmaster. It went up, started waning because the hype was gone. Now the hype is stronger than ever, ridiculously strong. There's a point when Eternals would just kind of sit because there were just so many that you could buy and they just sit. But now, boom, they showed a little trailer of it, and it's, yeah. So, let's see, the trailer dropped. The movie doesn't come out, end of this year or next year or something. The hype will still keep going. So buy, hold, don't sell. Star Wars number 1. This book right here. It's hard to tell, but this will probably come back a 9.6 or I'm hoping a 9.8. I always thought that the Star Wars was pushed down like a Turtles. Like it should have been a lot higher. And now it's finally broke free, so to speak. I think Star Wars will always be popular. I mean, Disney invested billions into it. I don't think it's going anywhere. With The Mandalorian, now they're doing the Obi-Wan. They might do a Luke Skywalker TV show with Sebastian Stan. And if you haven't checked him out, he looks just like Luke Skywalker's younger self. I would buy. I don't. Star Wars is so big that it's not going to go anywhere. Weapon X, Marvel Comics presents 72. This started the first origin of Wolverine. This is in that tier list I was talking about. This is the lower rung tier, but it's been going up like crazy, which is kind of funny to me because I used to have so many of these books, and they were just like, I'd sell them for like a couple bucks back in the day. But yeah, this one, it's a Wolverine. It's going up like crazy. I would buy it like I'm buying it. I would hold it. If you also have a copy that you bought a while ago and you want to sell it, you can sell it. Adam, The Legend of the Blue Marvel. This has a low print run, so I like books with low print run. I used to buy a lot more of these, and I've slowly backed off because I'm just thinking in my mind the turnaround time for me to send this to CGC to get graded and then for me to sell it could be months and months and months. So there's that risk, right? You know, if it takes 3 to 6 months to get back from CGC, what happens in that 3 to 6 months? What if it drops by 30%? So I go in this book with a line of caution. So, cautiously buy. You could cautiously sell. And you could cautiously hold. Oh, here's a good one. Spider-Man 252, first black suit. Tier list. This is a Spider-Man tier list. What does this book sell for? Like $2,000 and 9.8? It sounds insane. I'm buying them, so yes, buy them. Hold them. It's also a good time to sell, but I still think there's room on this book. Most of its gain, I think, has already happened. Turtles, number 1. This is a third printing. Funny story. We have a 9.8 up for sale. It's a third print. We had it up for $4,500, I think in January. Someone offered us $3,500 because the previous best sell was like $3,000. And they're like, this is the best. And we said no. A few weeks later, he came back with, I think, $4,000. And I said no. At that point, I realized it was going to keep on going up. So I switched it from $4,500 to $5,500. A month after that, someone came back and offers around $5,000 when we had $5,500. I said no. I then moved it up to like $6,500. A couple of weeks ago, someone offered us $6,000, and we had it up for $65 or $69.99 or something like that. I said no. And then my brother was like, well, why do we keep saying no and you just keep raising the price? And I'm like, well, because like I've said earlier, I need to have the line stop going straight up and needs the flat line sideways. Once that happens, then it's time to sell. And he's like, well, if we keep on doing this, why don't we just take it down? I'm like, good point. We took it down. A day later, a 9.8 sold on Comic Link for $9,100. Think about that. We had it up for like $7,000, I think. Someone offers us $6,000. We turned it down. I was just going to raise the price again, but then I was like, yeah, let's take it down. I'm probably going to take down my other Turtles too. Turtles as well. Not Turtles 2, but Turtles as well. I have like second printings and and third printings, high grades. But yeah, just went up. The previous top sale was like $6,500 or $6,000, and then jumped straight up to $9,000. That's a 50% jump. Yeah, it's not slowing down anytime soon. All right. So buy. New Mutants 98. First Deadpool. I think this is grade like a 9.4, 9.6. Put the grades on the back sometimes. Yeah, it's Deadpool. Buy. Like, there's a lot out there, but I'm not holding this one back. But it's definitely a buy. I should hold it back though. Maybe I will. I don't know. I'll think about it. Last one. Spider-Man 15. It's rumored that Keanu Reeves is going to play Kraven. I think I've said that before. I would buy. I think Keanu Reeves will knock it out of the park. I think he'll be a fan favorite. I think this book will go even higher than it is right now. I got a big jump. It's kind of settled a little bit, but I think it'll still go up. So it's a buy for me. Like I said, buy the book if you like the book, and you won't be disappointed. Sell the book if you hate the book. And yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. If you like this kind of stuff, I like showing everything I get in. I got way too much in this past week, and I was like, well, I don't know how to sit there and just flip through books all the time. Maybe I should give a little more insight into each book. So, like I said earlier videos, I'm going to switch things up. So let me know if you like this style of weekly haul where I kind of go through stuff. I did get a lot of big keys in that I showed you. Maybe I could do stuff that are smaller keys or not even keys at all. But let me know if you like this kind of format and if you like this kind of video. And leave in the comments below what you think. Of course, like the video. And if you aren't subscribed, please think about subscribing. It would really help me out. I'm trying to grow this channel. And if you don't do it for me, do it for my dogs that are snoring. I don't know if you can hear that, but they're very, very loud. So, yeah, think about subscribing. And all right, thanks.